Hello, Nick. So I don't know if you noticed the comment I pinned on the last video, but had a few mistakes. The easiest one was just me musing about a perceived value of the General Retreat card, thinking here that this add one to the die roll for reorganization of demoralized forces was somehow a benefit, but that is not. When you try to reorganize a formation that is a unit from a formation that is demoralized, you have to roll one die, and if it comes up a 5 or a 6, they're eliminated instead. So adding one to that roll is not a good thing. That's a bad thing. So just wanted to get that out there. And then the biggest screw up was when Petoni B and Rukovina were supposedly eliminated. That was, let's see, I've got my crappy tripod, so hopefully I don't have this thing falling down multiple times. But if you recall, Leclerc had gone around here, and Napoleon had come up to here, and those units were right in there. And they had to retreat, but since they couldn't, didn't have a retreat path that wasn't in a zone of control, they were eliminated. However, by having Leclerc come around this way, would have had to stop in the zone of control of the roadblock. Roadblocks, when they're revealed, only project a zone of control into the hex they point at. So he would have had to stop there. So he would have just probably ended up there with the attack against Napoleon, and they would have retreated back into here, which is where I will put them now. And then since, so then Leclerc, who was here, we'll just move him back there. So that, even if he would have went there to reveal them, we'll say he retreated before combat. We'll find put them, let's see, it's still, it's rain, so yeah, no line of sight except for adjacent, which this guy should be known. And then to correct things again, a little further. So we had Argento has been reorganizing one of them, maybe two, I don't know, but there was still a unit in there ready to recover box, and that was Lipthay. So we'll just say that Argento recovered him that last turn, and we'll call things good for now. I want to, I guess, thank people who've been commenting on the videos through this series, giving encouragement and thanking me. I just I feel bad when I make these constant mistakes, and it's I'll go back again to a Steve Tower on the After Further Review channel that does sports board games, and but he's said before in the past how once you turn the camera on, your IQ dips. I can't remember how many points he says, but for me, it definitely dips. I get Russian and excited, and then the mistakes happen. So I guess the thing you can learn is just slow down, take things step by step, and don't rush forward. There's no need. I mean, especially when if you're playing not on camera. I mean, I shouldn't do it on camera either, but I don't know. That's just what happens. All right, so let's get going. We've got 6 turns left. It's the 10 a.m. turn right now. So the French are starting to hammer the coalition back a bit, and we'll see if they can continue that, and if the coalition will be able to kind of solidify things a bit. All right, the French played turning movement, a nice 5/7 movement card. This would have been really good if I could have played it when I was a little more strung out, since it doubles the command range. However, the other cards that the French have, the General Retreat, which, yeah, definitely don't want to fall back at all. I mean, I could do the chintzy way. Um, I use the Austrians card, but yeah, we want to keep going forward. And then we've got the Fog of War 20 card, which if I play that, it's like one of my cavalry happens to see the enemy army commander, which in this case there is no army commander on map, so it would go to the best leader, which would be Sabetendorf up there in Dago. So, and there's you have to he has to retreat toward the nearest supply wagon, and then if he happens to have to go through one of your stacks or units, he gets captured. So not really worth it. So right now I'm kind of hampered by card play for that, which kind of sucks. So anyways, good movement. We were able to get Massena moved one of his guys, and then one of the second advanced guard reinforcements was able to make it up there with the good movement. Jabert's coming around here. So the plan right now is Bonaparte's going to try to slam through here, hopefully force a retreat and can advance into there. And then if Massena can cause this guy to advance, he's got no retreat path, and we bag them as we wanted to previously. And then Augereau and Pigeon over here are just trying to protect that flank. So we're going to do Bonaparte first. He's got a 12 to 6 3/4, which is a 1.5 to 1, but then Bonaparte bounces that up another level to 2 to 1. So here's that attack. 3 on the 2 to 1. That's a DR. So let's see. They have to go this way or that way. I guess they'll cause this guy to or displace, and then they'll back up there. And Bonaparte's gonna come in with both these guys. So the trap has been successfully set. Now we'll see if we can trigger it. So Massena's got a 13 to 7, just shy of the 2 to 1. So that's going to be on the 1.5 to 1. He gets a 4. That's DR star. I think that is probably going to convert to shock. It is in the woods, and I'm pretty sure. Let's see. AR star results. Wait. All right, so I'm 1.5 to 1. A 4 is DR star. All right, so on the woods hex it says AR star goes to shock. I'm trying to look and see where do I see DR stars convert to shock. All right, let me look this up. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like on the terrain effects on combat chart, they just use AR star as just kind of it means AR star or DR star, because if you look up on the combat results, it says AR star / DR star during any storm across a crest hex site or into a marsh, woods, orchard, or town hex, treated as a shock result. So we are going to shock. It might be good if I have this off since they were attacking in there. So Rukavina's a 4. Massena's got Dom Martin. Well, it's not his, but it's in his stack. So it's even 4-4. We'll see what comes out of it. Pretty important roll. And they get neither. So a 4 to 4 on the shock is a 1R. So we reduce 1 attacking and 1 defending unit. The owner must reduce either the strongest or the best initiative of his units involved. Holy crap. Well, so looks like for Massena, it's going to have to be his strongest unit, and his best quality is the same. So that gets reduced. And then over here, I guess they got the choice. His strongest is this one, but his best quality is Rukavina. I guess I'll go Rukavina just to try to keep some punch, because they will be having to attack back. Oh man. Yeah, so there you go. So just attrition is starting to is continuing to be a problem here. All right, so now we do line of sight. So this unit is now adjacent and is seen. These stay. These guys are going to get covered up, and then we'll switch over to the coalition. All right, coalition 10 a.m. turn. Argento got initiative. Pushed these guys over here to Leclerc was here, so that Rukavina stack wouldn't have to attack both. Before combat, Leclerc retreated. So we've got the Rukavina stack against Messena here. That's a 6 to 115 because they're attacking across the stream. So that's going to be a 1 to 3, not very good. So these two stacks, which are also across a bridge and a stream. So that's 1.5 for Napoleon's forces. That's like 13 3/4 to 18, which is like 1 to 1.5. And then Napoleon bumps that to a 1 to 2. We've got Salish here against Argento. That's just a straight 1 to 1. And then these guys were able to get initiative on their own. They moved up against Pigeon. That's going to be a 3 to 1 attack there. So I mean, if we push, if we get lucky and push Bonaparte back, the game would be over because he's got no retreat that wouldn't be in an enemy zone of control. So I'm thinking we do that first. We definitely don't want to do Rakovina because that would eliminate that, and yeah, who knows. So we're going to do that first. So it is a 1 to 2. It's a long shot, but it is possible. Let's see. Oh, well, there was your chance. If they would have got a 1 or 2, that would have been the game. They had some shot possibilities, but when you're on the 1 to 2 column and you roll a 6, that's AR3. Wow, not good. So these guys, 1, 2, I guess maybe they could go up there. That is still, yeah. And then these guys, actually, let's just put them there. These guys will 1, 2, 3, and that is legal because there's a bridge there, so the artillery could go. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, he's okay. Oh boy, Argento is in a wee bit of danger. I did not expect him to be uncovered like that. Bonaparte could actually advance. I don't know if he wants to. Man, I think he'll stay because, yeah, then he starts having command. Have to turn it back over to rolling. I think he's not going to be greedy. We'll just stay there. All right, then let's do the Messena. That's a pretty bad one. That was what was that? That was going to be a 1 to 3 there by Rukavina. Oh, rolls a 1 on the 1 to 3. A 1 is a DR. So wow. So Messena will retreat to there. They are definitely not going to advance. I guess let's do the Augereau attack with Salish. So that's a 1 to 1. Let's see what happens there. I get a 5. That's AR Star. Is he in a woods? Nope. So that is just a retreat. So he's going to go up that way. And then this attack here, which is a 3-1 in the coalition's favor. Oh, wow. And they roll a 6. 6 on a 3-1. That's a shock. Wow. And the French are going to have the advantage. So here's the rolls for shock. Oh, wow. So Pigeon will go to 5, and then the 6 will put that. So it's a 5-5. I think that's probably going to be an exchange, or the 1R. 5-5, yep, 1R. So that's going to eliminate Pigeon. He was already flipped, and then they have to either take Lipthay because of quality, or Oskay because he's the strongest. I guess they'll flip Lipthay. So Pigeon is eliminated for good, and that's 5. That's 5 points. So that puts the advanced guard at 10 losses on the casualty track. 6 more, and they're going to reach their limit. I can't remember if you reach it or you go beyond it. I think it's when you reach it, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Wow. So there you go. Just mayhem here. Augereau is going to have to attack that stack next turn. Bonaparte's going to have to attack that stack. The French, they don't have enough people, I don't know, to maintain this frontage, but we'll see. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Just so you know, I don't know if I showed this, Coalition played Sound of the Guns. There was no bombardment, friendly bombardment last turn. So they don't get the negative. It's just for movement. All right, we'll be back with the 11 a.m. turn. Okay, I guess last turn when I was saying, if the coalition was able to force the Bonaparte stack to retreat, that would be game. But Bonaparte would have to still roll. He might be able to slip through. But the units he's with, which would be that'd be a big hit. But anyways, the French played this card, which is the one where the commander, you roll a d6 and he has to move that many toward a supply wagon. So Bettendorf moved 3 hexes from Dago toward I guess the supply wagon over here, because it's the only friendly supply wagon. Oh, you know what, I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forgot to move that guy last turn. That's coming in for the coalition. Anyways, you may wonder, like, why the heck did you use that? It's because I have a better Fog of War card that I want to make sure I have just in case. So I'm going to take the -1 hit for that one. So we're going to have 2 battles. Massena moved over here to help Augereau, so he wasn't outnumbered. And then Bonaparte went in here, just missed getting a 2-1 by a quarter point. So 1.5 to 1, and with Bonaparte puts that to a 2-1. This one is going to end up a 1.5 to 1. So let's do this one first. The Massena Augereau joint action. That's 1.5 to 1. Ooh, a 5. Not good. 1.5. That's going to be shock. Wow, things haven't been working out for the French on shock very well. All right, so they'll use their 3 guy. Yeah, the French, they have 4 as their best. Yeah, a couple options there. All right, so here we go. So right now it's 4-3 French. Here's the roll. Ooh, they both get 5s. So that puts it to 6-5, and that's a DR. So they have they forced them back. Yeah, I don't. Well, no. I mean, it's tempting just to. Yeah, but they'll have. You know what? I think it's almost worth it because that'll pin both of those. Yeah, there could be a big attack coming back, but that holds them so they can't, immediately go after Napoleon or the spot. Who do I want to put in there? Let's see. This would have, gosh darn it. So this would have 6.5 or 6 3/4, and Massena's would have 9. Let's throw Massena in there. Man, getting dicey. Let's see. Oh, and I always got to remember this is Augereau's replacement, I believe. Yeah. Which if he had to ever roll for himself, he'd be a 3. All right, let's do Napoleon's attack here. The Rukavina stack got lucky because there's a stream on every hex side they're attacked through, and this guy really is doing yeoman's work over here by keeping them unable to just get there. Yeah. So what did I say? It was a 2-1. So here we go with that attack. 3 on the 2-1. That's a DR. So Rukavina will go back. I'm tempted. Well, do I want Gilbert? No, I think keeping that flank action is a good thing. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. All right, so over to the coalition. So Argento failed his command roll since he was within 3 hexes of an enemy stack. Everybody in his command range can move 1 hex. These guys kind of just moved back to try to form a line. One of those retreating stacks was able to get in with Argento, and then Kirpin moved down here. These guys were stuck in combat, and the reserve artillery's kind of in as well a spot as it can be. This approach, the roads really funnel. This over trying to do a flanking maneuver over here with these guys is going to run into problems. And then there's that roadblock. They really need to win this combat. So it is a 1.5 to 1. Just missed a 2-1. Here we go. Oh, a 2. 1.5 to 1 with a 2. That's a DR. So Massena will retreat, but he did what he wanted to do, just holding those guys. Didn't matter in the end anyway, since Argento failed the command roll. And these guys can't advance because they're out of command because of the failure. So there you go. I think I mentioned Sabetendorf got his, or maybe I didn't. Sabetendorf got his initiative, so he was able to run back into Dago. And the coalition used this card. There's no more alternate reinforcements, so they don't get punished for it. And we go on to the noon turn, and that's going to be a supply, the last supply and the last weather check of the day. So everybody's pretty much going to be in supply, and we'll see about this weather. It has that the rain with the line of sight and affecting the artillery has robbed a couple 2-1s, which then would have been turned into a 3-1 for Napoleon the one time. So the weather has, it's probably helped the coalition at the moment, so they're not taking a worse beating. But I don't know, we'll see. All right, noon turn. The weather turned fair, even with a +1 for raining the previous turns. There was no more reduced units to bring back, and we're all in supply. So use secure flanks, don't suffer the -1 since this is a tactical card, and there was nothing to come out of it. All right, so maybe a little reckless here, but the French are pushing forward. I guess we'll start here. Augereau is going to be a 1 to 1.5 on that flank. He rolls a 2, however. That is DR star, and I believe that we will go to shock. Man, that's going to be shock. All right, so they've got a 3. Augereau has a 4. All right, let's roll a shock. They both get 4s, so they'll each go up 1. So the attacker's modified initiative is 5, defender's 4, so they will retreat. Oh wow! Do they want to go across that river, or do they want to go back here? Probably back here. And then Augereau could advance, but I think maybe we'll just hold our horses there. Massena, he's a 1 to 1. So let's do that. He rolls a 5 on the 1 to 1. That's AR star. I think we're going to go to shock there also. Yep, that's in the woods. All right, so they got a 4 definitely, and Massena's definitely got a 4. Here's the shock roll. Oh boy, so the French go up 1, the Austrians go up 2, so that's going to be a 5 to 6, so AR, so Massena has to retreat. Yeah, I think he'll just retreat into Montenotte. Yeah, and this guy can't advance because of he was out. They were all out of command last turn. All right, so now Bonaparte, he's got a with his final shift, he's got a 2 to 1 attack. Oh, and a 1. Wow. DR2. Just did I do that? Yeah, I did that. I took into account the bridge. So just throwing these guys back. And I don't believe even Napoleon wants to advance into that hornet's nest there. Yeah, I think right now, I think he'll hold. I'm tempted just to keep following up on my successes, but that seems dumb. All right, so that will be the French turn. I'm sure you were all yelling at me when I retreated Massena that I have to roll for him. So let's do that now. Oh my God, that's a 6. Is that where 6 is captured, removed? Holy crap! They bagged Massena. This is on the noon turn. And he is I will have to look. I mean, we got end of the game. I'll have to look and see what they're worth. So his replacement will come in, I believe, 2 turns from now. I believe he'll come on as like an officer with a 4 command rating. All right, so that's that. All right, so oh crap, where did my so Argento got initiative. This guy was a reinforcement at the beginning of the day, finally made it here to his target, so he'll be able to come out of March next turn. So we got these guys coming in here to bleed off here so that they can make this monstrous attack on Napoleon, even though after everything is said and done, and with Napoleon's shift, it's a 1 to 1. So 1 to 1 here, this is a 1 to 1, and then these guys are going to have a 2 to 1 there. So let's start with that 2 to 1. There's the roll. They got a 1. 1 on a 2 to 1 DR2. So I'm going to have to roll for Augereau's replacement. Let's go. Where do we want to go? 1, 2. Maybe there. And then they could advance into the hex. Let's have these guys. No. We'll have these guys come down closer. All right, let's roll for Ojiro. A 2, so he's fine. Let's do this little attack here on La Harpe's guy. It's a 1-to-1. Got a 3. DR star. I don't believe that's, nope, that's no shock. So that's just a DR. So he will retreat there. Do these guys want to pursue? Yes. And then the big one, 1-to-1 on Bonaparte. This could be, oh man, I'm not even giving you the whole view there. This could be pretty big. Oh boy, they got a 1. DR2. All right, so they got nowhere to retreat. However, if you recall, did I mention that was the card the coalition played? They have no cavalry that could get into a zone of control, so I'm not going to penalize the negative one. So the French have the Fog of War 16 card, which is, if you recall, I mentioned earlier why I had played that one card is because I wanted to keep that. So let's see, the 16 card is called From the Jaws of Death. Fugitives cut their way through. Any one retreating stack that has cavalry may enter an enemy zone of control, retreating directly from one enemy's zone of control to another. Ignore the first hex the unit retreats into. The stack may end its retreat in contact with the enemy. They are not eliminated. So I don't know if I probably didn't show, but I had moved that, I'd moved Leclerc up into there. So they will be able to go here in the zone of control, ignoring that, and then go here for their second one. I will have to roll for Bonaparte, so the game, or there could still be problems here. Well, or would I? Well, yeah, because it's a retreat. And a 1. So Bonaparte is very defiant after that. And we will continue. Let's see. I believe, I think Argento probably, well, let's see. I think there's, I can't have the artillery advance, but these guys can. Yeah. So Argento pushing back, finally able to bring some force to bear and stop Bonaparte's advance. So -1 for that use, but that was big time worth it. All right, so I believe that's going to be the end of this video. We are up to the final 3 turns. Massena's replacement's going to show up 2 turns from now. And so we're moving into the 1 p.m. turn. Massena's replacement will show up the next turn, and then we've got that final battle. Yeah, I think, or no, we will roll for weather on the last turn, I guess. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yep. So there we go. It's getting interesting. I tell you, I was actually contemplating having Ojiro call a general retreat again, and but there's so much space to get back there off the board that I didn't think it would be worth it. There is these, they show, or no, supply source you got to get to, which is there or there. Yeah, so I didn't know if there'd be enough time. There might have been, considering that they basically could just go and not have to roll for command. That's the big thing, though. Argento has really had problems being decisive. He's been out of command quite a bit, but this is pretty foreboding. I mean, if he can keep getting command, who knows? Be interesting. All right, we'll talk to you next time.